What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Beatbox video series. In today's video, we're going to be talking about others against BTC. For the ones who don't know, others, it's an altcoin basket, which basically represents everything on the altcoin market, excluding the top 10 market cap and stable coins. We're going to be studying others against BTC today on the 3-day time frame because I think there's some cool signals flashing and being confirmed on the past few days. So jumping in, you can see here the chart. The first thing that you can notice, it's the eventual resistance to support flip happening at the 3 to 3.3 million area here from this previous cycle and 2019. You've seen how this level is correlated to a resistance and support in the past. This was support, a brief support, then resistance again in 2020. And now in May 2024 was tested as support again. And now in August of this year, possibly being used as support once again. So that's the biggest thing that you can notice straight away that could be developing. This will be a bullish development on others against BTC. This would imply that eventually others, your small caps, altcoins, could be finding support and could start outperforming BTC in the short to mid-term from here. Because you've bounced twice from this level, and I think there's some nice correlation to the past too. Whenever you had this level be flipped as support, you had a strong bounce, and also it happened on June of this year. So I think that's the first big development. Secondly, regarding price action, you have a massive bullish bad harmonic here completed at the 88% retrace from lows to highs, and then with a type 2 return that even went a little bit lower, but I would still consider this low here from August as a confirmation of a type 2 return from this drop on June. The third thing that you can notice that you're breaking out of this diagonal resistance, this supply line that started and was manufactured on March of this year. You had the first 3-day close outside of it, just closed yesterday. So that's the big development that's going on. And as of right now, you're having somewhat of a bullish retest to it, and we'll see if it actually holds. Another thing that's also going on, so you can tell right away, there's plenty of things going on this chart. You have a dragon pattern actually breaking out of, you have the head, the first foot, and then the second foot, and you will be breaking out of, again, going for the tail price action into higher momentum on this pair. But since I talked about this price action, I do want to mention that this could possibly do something like this, maybe go for a high and then come get us a third retest or a type 3 return. That's also possible. So don't think that this is gonna break out and go straight up. It could happen since Bitcoin and crypto is a momentum driven asset. So once it starts going, sometimes it doesn't give you the retest, but market participants and the market itself love retest. So I wouldn't be surprised if this large structure and market structure break going into upside would give us another retest into this demand zone that could still be real. So if you're positioning yourself on this regard, by the way, none of this is financial advice. Just have in mind that this could drop again, and this whole structure could still be valid and would still be really bullish what's being developed here locally on others against BTC. And by the way, if you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button. Remember to subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when I'm going live. I usually go live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, but sometimes I go live a little bit earlier, a little bit late. So turn on notifications so you can tune in when I'm going live. So that's regarding the price action. If we turn on the oscillators here, you can see a triple bullish divergence on the MACD histogram here confirmed, and you're also printing strong positive momentum on this 3-day candle. The highest positive momentum going on others against BTC since January of this year. So almost yearly highs for the positive momentum on this time frame on ours against BTC. So some really good stuff's going on others BTC. Also on the MACD histogram, you have a pattern that's just got confirmed yesterday with the latest 3-day close. You confirmed a 3 rising valleys here. This is a positive momentum accumulation pattern that just got confirmed on the MACD histogram, because you have a low here, another higher low, and the third higher low, which is the third valley, with a higher high on the second high regarding the first high. So that's what this pattern it's all about. Then you have the breakout line here, and you just had the confirmation on yesterday's 3-day close. So if you close like this in 2 more days, on the next 3-day close, you'll be continuing to play out on the pattern. You can also get somewhat of a throwback and get a positive momentum to drop below the breakout line, and the pattern would still be valid, but that usually hurts the performance. So you want to see green candles continuing to print and grow into more and more positive momentum. And if we take a look at possibly the performance out of this accumulation, this is just a measured move. It's just an exercise. If you wanted to see what's the technical target for an accumulation like this on the MACD histogram, you will go here from the 0 point out around here, not exactly, but right there, all the way into the depth of the first low, and then you take that measurement and you go from the breakout line here all the way into the upside. So that will give you the highest positive momentum on others against BTC since September 2023. So it will be yearly highs of positive momentum if this pattern actually performs to its technical measurement, to basically what the books of technical analysis and patterns say. You'll be looking at yearly highs of positive momentum if this accumulation actually plays out. On the RSI, you're at the 40-point level, so you're neutral still. You're just coming out of the bearish control zone, an area that you stayed below since May. Since late May, that you stay below the 40-point level on the RSI, the bearish control zone. And you can see here, since you drop on here on late May, you see the performance, just sellers in control of this asset, pushing it lower, and you're also leaving that area. So hopefully to the upside, this all plays out and the RSI continues to grind higher and go into a 50 area, which is still neutral, and hopefully above 60, which you will enter the bullish control zone. So I think some really good things are going on here on others against BTC. If you turn on the Bollinger Bands, it's not like you get a squeeze or anything. You're actually testing resistance once again here. This EMA, this mid-range from the Bollinger Bands wasn't tested since last May. You were not able to touch it here on mid-July. So you just sold off a little bit going into it on the last 3-day close. So I think that the current 3-day candle will be really telling if you're able to close, if you're going to be able to break out of this mid-range, or maybe go into the third type of retest here out of this massive bullish harmonic. But given all the confluence that I'm seeing on the structure and the price action, you have a bullish bad harmonic plus a type 2 return plus a breakout out of the dragon plus support on a critical inflection zone plus a triple divergence with accumulation of positive momentum going on in the MACD. I would say that the odds are in your favor of this going to the upside rather than to the downside. Maybe you'll get that retest, but I don't think you'll be taking out the lows here. So if I were going long here on others against BTC, I would do something like this, chat. I would enter possibly long here. You put your stop loss. You could set it right there, or just below the previous low, and go for range highs target. So it will be a 5.5 risk to reward ratio. So that would be pretty good. And if you wanted to go for a second TP target, you could do something like this. I'll move it a little bit here. So your second TP could be here, next inflection zone for a 6.5 risk to reward. And another one, evenly, your latest TP could be all the way up here on a 10 risk to reward ratio on others against BTC, testing this complacency shoulder from August of 2022. So that's what I've been looking on others. I think it looks really good. It has all the developments it has all the developments of a time frame, or I mean of a not a time frame, but of a frame, basically, framework of what I will be looking on a structure for going long. So maybe it fails, but I think the possibilities are on my side of this succeeding. And I'll talk a little bit about BTC too, give you guys an update on the weekly time frame, because it will be closing in a couple hours, in 2 hours, I think. Yeah, in an hour and 31 minutes, it's where you'll be getting this weekly close with a massive bullish engulfing, going for your highest weekly close since July 22nd. You're losing negative momentum, and you're look at this, chat. Do you remember this bearish bat that we talked about here on the RSI? You're catching some follow through as for now for the development, because I started talking about this potential bullish bat on the beginning of August, before this impulse. So now this is starting to look more real any day that goes through, and hopefully this goes into the completion of this pattern, which will be at 84 point level, deeply or highly overbought on the RSI, which I think it would propel BTC into price discovery if you get actually the RSI in the weekly time frame at 84, because you're currently at 55. That's neutral. You're bouncing out of the 48 point level. You're at the 55. Bulls need to get the RSI above 60, and then that's when the fan begins. Bulls take control of the asset on a weekly time frame, and they just send it. You're also above 58.3k at critical inflection zone, both on the daily and the weekly time frame. Here you'll see how it was bullishly back tested the last 2 weeks. Bears were not able to get a weekly close below it, just on July 29, but then you immediately recapture it. And on the Bollinger Bands, you're continuing to get squeezed and squeezed. You see how the volatility is even contracting further, and you're getting a weekly close outside, or I mean above the mid-range here. And I think this is huge, because for example, what happened here in August that took way longer on the breakout, you had this impulse just 2 weeks into this drop. After you drop and bounce out of the lower end of the bands, you had this impulse, but you immediately sold off against this mid-range here, this EMA of the Bollinger Bands, and you came down. So that needed more time to reaccumulate before getting into that breakout and having that volatility expansion that we've been waiting on the weekly. So I think this is a good development, that you'll be able to close above this EMA. Actually, you'll need to close above 63 to 64k. If you get a weekly close above 64k in an hour and 28 more minutes, you will get that breakout from the mid-range here of this Bollinger Band contraction. So I think BTC is in great shape for having finally the breakout that we've been waiting for since so long. This chop and range have been a nightmare. A lot of people have capitulated. They've switched biases. They've switched their bullish bias into a bearish bias. A lot of people are scared, and I think that finally the time is really close to get that massive volatility squeeze expansion, into the upside on BTC. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Please remember to smash that like button if you're liking my content. Please remember to tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time to my daily show of TA, on where I go through the markets. I check out BTC, USDT dominance, all of your favorite altcoins and meme coins. So I hope that you guys have a great Sunday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.